Mr. Speaker, I rise to make a statement in commemoration of the International Women's Day, which fell on the 8th of March, 2023. But I do so at the risk of sounding trite and banal, given that it has become an annual ritual for such solidarity messages and statements to be made without necessarily following through with actions that would ultimately improve the lots of women. That notwithstanding, it is appropriate to utilize this occasion to reflect on how far we have come as a nation and the world in general in championing the agenda of women. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, a flip through the atlas of human history reveals that some significant milestones have been achieved in bringing issues affecting women to the front burner and subsequently changing the path of change on how the world perceives and treats women. Since the Beijing Conference of 1995, nations across the world have taken practical steps to promote women's rights across a wide range of domains. Today, women can work and earn a living. Women can vote and determine the system of governance desired by the people of the state. Today, the idea that the place of a woman is in the kitchen has been discarded. In Ghana, we have worked as a nation to promote girl-child education, reduce the incidence of teenage pregnancy, and promote maternal health care delivery to reduce maternal mortality. Indeed, the free SHS program by the Nanado-led MPP government, for instance, has effectively removed barriers to female education. Additionally, the introduction of the free maternal health care policy by Ekuful-led MPP government in 2008 has also significantly improved maternal health care delivery in Ghana. The theme for this year's celebration is Digital, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. Honorable members, you'll all agree with me that in Ghana, we have one of our own Honorable Owusu-Ekuful, a minister and a gender activist who is championing the Girl in ICT initiative. As part of her speech to mark last year's Girls in ICT Day, the minister said, and I quote, "This year, the Girls in ICT program will cover 5 regions and train 500 ICT teachers and 5,000 girls at the secondary and tertiary level. 100,000 girls, 100,000 high school girls, 100 tertiary students, 100 teachers will also benefit from the training. For the first time in 2021, 75 female students in tertiary institutions were trained in cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and other cutting-edge digital technologies." Unquote. Despite the progress made thus far, numerous challenges, particularly regarding participation of women in the process of governance, still remain. It is a fact that gender-based and patronage-based political culture as well as gendered economic and household inequalities, continue to mitigate against the participation of women in the process of governance in Ghana. The various forms of abuse of women politicians give credence to pervasive sexist political culture in Ghana. In addition, Mr. Speaker, gendered economic and household inequality in the face of increasing monetization of our democracy continue to crowd out women from the political space, given that many women simply lack the financial muscle required to meet the capital-intensive demands of today's politics. It is imperative to note, Mr. Speaker, that the International Parliamentary Union, IPU, has set a target for the proportion of women in parliament across the globe to hit 30% by 2030. According to the latest Women in Parliament report by IPU, the proportion of women in parliament increased by 0.6% to 26.1%. It must be stated, however, that Ghana's contribution to the overall increase of the proportion of women in parliament remains largely insignificant. Currently, the proportion of women in parliament in Ghana stands around 14.5%, a figure far below the IPU set target of 30% by 2030. If we are to make progress in this regard, we must at all costs remove barriers such as gender-based political culture and the gendered economic inequalities that continue to define our politics. Again, Mr. Speaker, the latest Women in Parliament report by the IPU also noted that improvement in overall global proportion of women in parliament was largely as a result of implementation of a well-designed quota system by some countries. It is imperative, therefore, for political parties in Ghana to critically consider and design implementation of an effective quota system that will seek to protect women parliamentarians while creating opportunity for more women to become members of parliament. I must state, Mr. Speaker, that my advocacy for quota system for women in parliament does not in any way suggest that we should be made to enter parliament on a silver platter. However, in the face of the obvious challenges that crowd women from political space, a quota system that upholds the principle of competence and meritocracy will go a long way to increase women participation not only in parliament but in the entire governance process of the country. And so on this occasion of the International Women's Day, I urge us all to reaffirm our commitment to championing the cause of women in Ghana. And it is my hope that this august House will take the front seat in pushing reforms that aim to increase the proportion of women in parliament and the entire governance structure in our dear country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members of the House for your audience. Thank you once again, Mr. Speaker.